One of the most persistent beliefs people carry is that effort requires struggle, that without a central self pushing, forcing, and maintaining pressure, nothing meaningful will happen. So when the center begins to loosen, a very specific concern appears. If no one is trying anymore, how does anything get done? This episode is about effort. Not effort as strain, not effort as discipline, but effort as it actually functions when there is no one inside trying to make life work. Most people learn effort early. They learn that things happen because someone pushes, because someone applies will, because someone holds tension long enough to get results. Effort becomes associated with seriousness, with worthiness, with responsibility. Trying hard becomes proof that you care, and struggle becomes evidence that something matters. So when effort begins to feel lighter, people often assume something is wrong. The center treats effort as a personal resource, something you generate, something you manage, something you apply to life. This makes effort feel finite. It can be exhausted. It can fail. It can collapse. But effort does not actually originate from a center. It originates from engagement. If you watch effort closely, you'll notice something important. Effort appears when something needs to be done, and it disappears when it doesn't. The body adjusts posture without strain. Attention sharpens when a task requires it. Energy mobilizes in response to demand. This happens naturally. Effort is situational. It is not maintained by willpower. The struggle people experience around effort usually comes from resistance. Not resistance to tasks, resistance to experience. The center resists uncertainty. It resists discomfort. It resists not knowing outcomes. That resistance creates tension, and that tension gets mislabeled as effort. When the center is present, effort is often mixed with fear. Fear of failure, fear of inadequacy, fear of losing control. So effort becomes tight, compressed, overmanaged. Without a center, effort loses that compression. Not because tasks disappear, but because resistance drops. This is where people get confused. They equate struggle with productivity. They assume that if effort feels easier, less is happening. But effort does not need to hurt to be effective. In fact, unnecessary struggle often reduces effectiveness. Think about moments when you were fully absorbed in something. Fixing a problem, helping someone, working with your hands, responding in an emergency. Effort was present, energy was engaged, but there was no struggle, no self-monitoring, no internal commentary. That is effort without a center. Without the center, effort becomes cleaner. It matches the task. It increases when needed. It recedes when not. There is no background tension trying to maintain momentum. This makes effort more sustainable. This shows up clearly in work. With a center, effort is often future-oriented. Am I doing enough? Will this pay off? What does this say about me? These questions drain energy. They turn effort into pressure. Without a center, effort becomes present-focused. What needs to be done now? What's the next step? What's required here? The work still happens, but with less friction. Another misunderstanding appears here. People worry that without struggle, discipline will disappear. But discipline is not the same as force. Discipline is reliability. Showing up, responding when needed, following through. None of this requires internal struggle. In fact, reliability often improves when effort is no longer dramatized. Consider physical effort. When you lift something heavy, effort appears. The body coordinates muscles. Breath adjusts. Focus narrows. But if you add unnecessary tension, the lift becomes harder. The same is true psychologically. Struggle is excess tension layered on top of effort. Without a center, there is less incentive to prove something, less need to perform effort, less identity tied to being productive or disciplined. So effort becomes honest. It reflects what the situation actually requires, not what the self wants to demonstrate. This also changes rest. With a center, rest often feels earned, something you deserve after effort, or something you feel guilty about taking. Without a center, rest is simply recovery. It happens when effort recedes. No justification needed. People sometimes worry that this will lead to laziness. But laziness is not the absence of struggle. It is disengagement. And disengagement does not increase when the center fades. If anything, engagement becomes more natural, because there is less inner resistance. Another subtle shift happens here. Effort without struggle allows for stopping. When something no longer needs to be done, effort ends. There is no compulsion to push past usefulness. no attachment to momentum. This makes action more precise. A common trap at this stage is trying to eliminate effort entirely. People attempt to float above tasks, to let everything happen without participation. This creates a new kind of struggle. Effort does not need to be removed. It needs to be unowned. The simplest orientation is this: let effort arise when needed. Let it match the task. Let it end when the task ends. No one needs to manage it. If effort feels lighter now, that is not a failure of character. It is the absence of resistance. If struggle is fading, that does not mean care is fading. It means effort is no longer being distorted. Effort continues because life requires response, but it no longer needs to be carried. It no longer needs to prove anything. It no longer needs to hurt. In the next episode, we'll look at care. Not care as obligation, not care as identity, but how care functions naturally when there is no one trying to be caring. Because this is another place where people expect loss. And once again, something simpler remains.